Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Hello, good morning. It's Tuesday, December 12th.
Thanks for joining us. Still a chilly morning. It's still going to be, cold throughout the week.
That's right. And then we've got that chance of rain. Justin is here and he's keeping tabs on both the forecast and helping us keep tabs on the road as well.
Yeah, and I think one thing you're going to notice tomorrow, guys, is a cool down, but also quite a bit more wet. We had sort of a dry stretch here, and then we're going to get into some damp weather tomorrow, which could have an impact on traffic, too. Let's look at the satellite picture first, and you'll see that there's not a lot going on right now. We do notice, though, some high clouds just to our west, and that's an indication that we're starting to see some of that changing weather. Storm system out to the west is going to start to draw in some moisture, and boom, there we get some of those changes that we were just talking about. So our forecast today, noontime, 63. We start to see more clouds, though, and they thicken up this afternoon, so that'll give us a high right around 67. This could be our warmest day in the 7-day forecast. And then as we get into tonight, we start to see some of that perhaps drizzle developing as early as, say, 10 p.m. and then going into tomorrow morning. It's going to be rather damp. So rain chances, we brought them up tomorrow, drizzle 60%. Thursday, they come down some, and then they pick back up on Friday with our next storm system, which could bring some showers and maybe even a couple thunderstorms, too. We'll talk all about that, how much rain we can see as well. Let's switch over to traffic mode now. We've had somewhat of a busy morning. It picked up quite a bit during rush hour. Things starting to quiet down, although as we look towards I-37 there, we do have a police incident there along I-37 and Fair Avenue, and I believe Katrina Weber is there. We're going to get some more information from her soon. That could cause a few slowdowns, although it's not showing much right now, guys.
Yes, Katrina is on scene gathering information as we speak. We'll keep you updated.
Yes, we know. But for now, let's look at today's 9 at 9.
The suspect in a deadly shooting spree that claimed 4 lives in Austin and 2 lives here in Bexar County now faces an expanded list of charges, up to 10 in total. 34-year-old Shane James is facing first-degree felony charges for aggravated assault mass shooting, aggravated assault against a public servant, and 4 capital murder charges. The capital murder charges bring into question whether the state will seek the death penalty, but that decision will come later on.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is scheduled to meet with Senators, House Speaker Mike Johnson, and President Biden today. The visit comes as Congress is in a standstill over a funding bill that has assistance earmarked for Ukraine. Many Republicans are pushing back, saying major concessions are needed regarding the surge of migrants at the U.S.'s southern border.
One last chance for the Fed to weigh in on interest rates. The last 2-day meeting of the year starts today. Experts widely believe it will hold interest rates steady at the end of the meeting tomorrow. Stock markets heading into trading today on an up note. The Nasdaq finished Monday up 0.2%, and the Dow and S&P each gained 0.4%.
The special counsel investigating former President Donald Trump's role in the January 6th attack is now asking the Supreme Court to decide whether Trump has immunity. At issue is whether a president is immune from prosecution for crimes committed while in office. The request marks the first time the High Court would weigh in on the historic prosecution of the former president.
A loss in court for Google over its Android Play Store. It took a federal jury less than 4 hours to unanimously rule that the store amounts to a monopoly. Google was sued by Epic Games, the maker of Fortnite, over the fees charged to developers. Google says it will appeal.
Sales of electric vehicles are losing their juice. Sales growth has slowed, and some dealers have a several-month supply of EVs on their lots. The concerns dealers are hearing from buyers are worries about range and lack of charging options.
Worries about sluggish holiday toy sales has Hasbro making plans to cut 1,100 jobs, about 20% of its workforce. The job cuts will happen within the next 18 to 24 months.
Google is phasing out Google Play movies and TV, so the company is detailing how users can still watch the shows and movies they've purchased. So accounts with a TV or streaming device powered by Android TV can use the Shop tab starting January 17th. And if you have a cable box or set-top box running Android TV, you can use the YouTube app.
The Spurs set a franchise record last night with their 17th consecutive loss. The Rockets won in Houston 93-82. Victor Wembanyama had 15 points, 18 rebounds, and 5 blocks, but it wasn't enough to get the win. He said while he hates losing, he's staying focused on the long-run goal of being winners. And that's today's 9 at 9.
And we're going to take you back to that late breaking news that we were talking about earlier in the newscast. There is a possible standoff at a gas station on the southeast side. This is Fair Avenue near I-37.
Katrina Weber, as we mentioned, is out there live, and she just got an update from officials. Katrina.
Good morning. Yes, we did just get an update from public information officers. And what is going on here is a very unusual situation, a standoff of sorts. It's a man in a truck at the 7-Eleven that you see there. This is Fair Avenue right near I-37. Police have been trying to talk to this person, this man in the pickup for quite some time. It's a red pickup. You probably don't have a very good view of it right now, but it's all happening behind all those SWAT vehicles. This has been going on, or this started about 6 this morning with a call from a clerk at the store saying that there was someone passed out inside that truck. EMS arrived at first, they could see a gun inside that truck with the man in his hand, in fact. So they called police, who then came in, took a peek, and called for backup, called for supervisors, and ultimately now SWAT. They've been here making announcements, telling this person in English and Spanish to wake up, to get out of the truck. So far, negative results. No one has moved, and as far as we know, this person has not responded. There's some smoke blowing right now because SWAT officers have been setting off some flashbang grenades, hoping that they'll stir this person and get his attention. The last word we had is that he has not responded. So they are now going to try to do what they call sort of not exactly a rescue operation, but to try to see if he's okay, because, again, a lot of noise going on here. And so far he has not had any response, not done what they're telling him to do, which is to wake up and get out of the truck. So for now, this is a big mess in this area. If you're traveling here, we have streets shut down all around here. Fair Avenue and 37. In fact, the exit ramp from the highway is closed, so you can't even get off here. But this situation is going to be this way until, I guess, they resolve it and figure out exactly what is happening with that man in the truck. Reporting live on the southeast side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
All right, Katrina will keep us updated on that ongoing situation on San Antonio's southeast side. Well, in your other morning headlines, the abortion restrictions here in Texas getting a new look. And former New York Congressman George Santos has a fear of going to jail.
A building partially collapsed in New York at dinner time. David Sears is here with all of these morning headlines.
Morning, Dave.
Very scary, but some good news after that building collapsed, and they got the dogs in there, and believe it or not, nobody dead. We'll show you what happened there. But let's start with this. Kate Cox, a Dallas area woman who got a temporary restraining order from a judge that allowed her to get an abortion here in Texas, thought she would not have a problem, but she ended up having to leave the state to get that abortion. Texas State Attorney General Ken Paxton appealed that judge's ruling to the state Supreme Court. The 9 justices ruled in favor of the state and not Cox. Cox and her doctor said she was 20 weeks pregnant, but the baby would have little chance of survival due to a fatal genetic condition. Her doctor also feared the longer she carried the fetus, the more she put her future ability to have children in jeopardy. The Supreme Court said the risks didn't meet the state's qualifications, but the 9 justices also want the state's medical board to provide more guidance on the, quote, medical emergency exception. In their opinion, they said it should be up to the doctors to decide whether to provide an abortion. In this case, the justice said Cox's doctor didn't establish her symptoms were life-threatening. The lawyers for Cox did not say where she was having that abortion or if she would continue that legal fight. He got kicked out of Congress, and now he is reportedly working on a plea deal with prosecutors since he is facing 23 federal charges. The charges including campaign funds and lying about his financial situation when he filled out the disclosure reports for the House of Representatives. Prosecutors want another meeting next month so they can come up with a deal. Right now, he is scheduled to go to trial next September. And Santos said in a New York interview that he was afraid of going to jail and wanted to work out a deal. In New York, right behind this guy walking here, watch this up here. All of a sudden, yeah, that is the corner of a 7-story building just collapsing right to the ground. It happened at dinner time. Here's a wide shot of what that building looked like and the mess it left behind. Believe it or not, no one killed, even though there's a deli that takes up the bottom floor. You can see walls of the bedroom gone, belongings hanging between floors, and on the ground, a 12-foot pile of bricks and metal and wood and other types of debris. Now 100 residents have to find somewhere else to stay.
I just saw everything come down at once, and all I saw was everybody just piling up. There was cars everywhere. I was just confused.
I couldn't see nothing. My eyes were hurting because the sand was going to my eyes. It was like I was not really seeing nothing. But it was really bad.
No sabemos dónde nos iremos a quedar.
We don't know where we're going to stay. What happened is we have the kids. We don't know where we're going to stay. Our concern is for the kids.
Once again, nobody killed. There were a couple of minor injuries, and so far already the investigation into the collapse shows 7 building violations. None of them were structural, though, but our report filed back in 2021 shows some serious issues. There was some work on the building happening at the time of that collapse. No word on if that had anything to do with it. Unbelievable that there were no major injuries or deaths when that whole thing crashed down. 7 stories.
Everybody made it out.
Very populated area.
Yeah, sure is.
Okay, thank you, David. Right now, 9:08, 50 degrees.
And Tiffany Whitehouse joins us now with a look at what she has coming up. Good morning, Tiffany.
Good morning. It's a beautiful day to give back. Check it out. SAISD partnering up with the San Antonio Food Bank to host its largest food distribution of the year this morning. Details on how many families are facing food insecurity this holiday season and how you can still give back coming up after the commercial break. Welcome back to GMSA at 9. We love to see this. Lots of volunteers at this mega food distribution here at Alamo Stadium. And we have our friend Eric Cooper, President and CEO of the San Antonio Food Bank, joining us. Good morning, Eric. Tell us about what's happening here today. Who are you all partnering with? And we see a lot of different volunteers.
Well, good morning. You know, this distribution is an annual tradition of Harvey Najum. Because of Harvey, kids are fed during the holidays. You know, it's during this break that kids are not going to get access to their school lunch and breakfast, and so we want to make sure their homes are stocked up. This is a busy time. We feed about 105,000 people a week, but it's the holiday seasons when families are choosing between buying Christmas presents or buying food, and thanks to Harvey Najum, all of these families' shelves are going to be stocked, and the kids will have access to some incredible fresh fruits and vegetables, but it's all thanks to Harvey Najum.
And Harvey, you're here with us this morning. He's here. How are you feeling? How to see all of this?
Oh, this is so touching. Of all the things I've done and the foundation does, these 3 drives that we do in December are the most important thing that I do.
It's wonderful to see everyone come together this time of the year. And this is wonderful to see all the different items. Perfect for a Christmas meal.
Yeah, you know, there's about 1,000 families that have registered to get this food today. And families are worried. They're stressed. They're trying to provide for their families for Christmas, and they have to choose, again, between food or providing Christmas. Because of inflation, we're seeing a lot more families at the food bank. But boy, with SAISD, they know kids, they know families. They brought out a lot of volunteers. A lot of these families are from the district. And then incredible food companies that have been supporting the food bank. We just had a wonderful donation of fresh produce from HEB. And so with Harvey's support, we're able to make sure that no kid goes hungry for the holidays, and that's just incredible to be able to provide. I can't imagine, right, the heartache that families have when they can't feed their kids, and for us to be able to do this for them is pretty special.
There are many ways to volunteer. If you can just name some of them so people at home may be interested in coming out.
Absolutely. Well, one, if you are in need, if you're struggling, please go to our website, safoodbank.org. We can get you some food. If you have time and you can give help, you can always volunteer. Go to website, safoodbank.org. You could do a distribution like this or in our kitchens, farm, warehouse. Lots of ways to get involved this holiday season.
Thank you, Eric. Well, we'll have more coming up on the noon show, and of course on KSAT.com, the different ways you can volunteer. We'll have that up on our website. We'll send it back to you.
Thank you, Tiffany. It is nice to see all the volunteers out there.
Yes, and especially Mr. Najum himself, legendary local philanthropist.
Very generous guy. Very generous.
Outside with live cam, not bad looking day so far, Justin.
Not bad at all. We start off a little chilly. We're starting to warm up. We're going to see sun today, but don't get too used to that because we're going to get a lot more cloud cover the rest of the week and some cool temperatures too. It's going to feel a little more like December. Let's go outside for you. And we've got partly cloudy skies right now. We are starting to notice that clouds are on the increase, and that's what we would expect. 51 degrees at the airport right now, 52 in New Braunfels. Still in the 40s, though, in Seguin, Bernie, and Kerrville. Low 40s in Kerrville after a morning where we got down close to freezing. Our forecast today, as you plan out your day, know that clouds will thicken up. 63 noontime, and then by the afternoon, we may go mostly cloudy. 67 is our forecast high. Another pretty nice day, but by tonight, we start to add in some rain chances as early as 10 o'clock. We could start to see some showers developing, maybe some drizzle as well. Let me show you the big picture here across the country. Remarkably quiet. We've got a little bit of snow up in Nebraska, a little bit of snow near Denver and Colorado. This is our upper level low starting to take shape here across the Rocky Mountains. But as it dives south and east, it moves towards Texas, gives us the lift we need to hopefully get some rain in here. So the dew point forecast, now out ahead of the system, we're starting to see moisture slowly increase, and it will. By tonight, we'll get dew points in the 50s, and then they'll hold pretty steady. Now, that doesn't seem all that high, but consider the temperature is going to be right about there, too. So when your temperature and your dew point get close together, you start to get some of the drizzle and rain and just kind of overall damp conditions. Let me show you the forecast. So we're going to fast forward here to 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. This is going to be drizzly, kind of showery weather as this moisture starts to surge in here. And know that your morning commute will be messy. The roads will be slick. And we'll keep this going most of the day. This is noontime. Now, I think you'll have a little better chance of rain to the west of San Antonio, but even still, here in town, rain's a possibility most of the day until we get into the late afternoon hours. And that's when some drier air, at least at the surface, tries to work in and may dry us out just a little bit. As we get into Thursday, still a couple showers. Sun may try to reappear briefly on Thursday before we get the storm system itself moving in. And that's when rain chances start to come back up. So as we head into Friday morning, we should start to see a broken line of showers and storms developing along this front. And then that makes its way towards San Antonio during the day on Friday. And we could see some storms mixed in here. We're not looking for severe weather, but some rumbles of thunder and maybe some decent rain in spots before this pushes east. And then we get some cooler weather on the backside of this on Saturday. Probably still some cloud cover as well. How much rain can you expect? Well, tomorrow's rainfall is going to be light. It will not amount to much. But as we get into Friday, that's when we should see some higher totals, maybe up to an inch. This is not going to be a huge rainmaker for us, but this is good considering it has been a pretty dry stretch. Speaking of, when's the last time San Antonio had half an inch of rain or more? You got to go back 30 days, back to November 9th through 12th. How long has it been since we've had an inch or more? 42 days. You got to go back to the last week in October. And how long has it been since we've had 2 inches or more? You got to go back 211 days to May 13th. So we're still looking for one of those big rain events to kind of really help dig us out of that drought. I don't think this is it, but we are going to see a stretch here where it's fairly damp, especially tomorrow. Notice the high, 55, jacket, umbrella weather tomorrow for sure. 62 Thursday, 59 on Friday with a 60% chance of showers, maybe a storm. Cool on Saturday. It does warm up some on Sunday.
Very nice overall for December.
Yeah, it's just going to be kind of drizzly, damp, and, you know, one of those days tomorrow. A lot of people are going to want to sleep in, I think.
Yeah, I think so. But then the nice weekend. So
yes.
Look forward to that.
Yep.
Thank you so much, Justin.
9:18, 51 degrees.
So a reminder, today is the last day of the San Antonio Police Department's Share the Shoes campaign. When we come back, Max Massey is going to join us live to tell us how many donations are coming in.
In a partnership with San Antonio Police and local nonprofit Zapatos, for the last month, we have been asking you to share the shoes.
You may not realize it, but a good pair of shoes is a luxury item for so many families in and around San Antonio. And this morning, we are starting to see the fruits of our labor.
Max Massey joins us live from Public Safety Headquarters. We are counting proceeds. Max, how does it look out there? Great hat, by the way.
Thank you. One of Santa's helpers this morning, and I gotta say, guys, smiling from ear to ear so far, not counting a donation that we expect later in the day, and not counting the more than $3,000 we raised at the phone bank. We have more than 1,700 pairs of shoes. Take a look around. Shoes from all shapes and sizes. I mean, look at this. These are adorable. But again, shoes for kids, all shapes and sizes too. Not just for the little ones, but remember, new shoes. Amazing to see, and yeah, take a look around. We even got celebrity guests here. Mike, come on. This really is a great KSAT community venture, and it really does help so many families in and around San Antonio. Joined here with Officer Hardaway. So, Officer, what does today mean to you?
Today means a lot. It means a lot seeing San Antonio give back to the community. Everybody contributing, doing what they can. We're fortunate to have 6 substations to make it convenient to San Antonio and Bexar County just to drop off shoes whenever they get a chance so they have a little bit extra to give.
And when you look around, you see the seemingly thousands of shoes out here. What does it mean to see these tables filled with shoes, everyone helping out and sorting?
It shows that San Antonio cares. It shows that we're willing to do what it takes to get our youth started, to make sure that they have things coming as they grow. And we're going to be here always for the city.
Mark and Steph said it really well in the beginning. For so many families in and around San Antonio, having shoes is a luxury. So you're out and about in the community, you talk to families. What does the need look like?
The need is great. Sometimes kids get no shoes. Sometimes they are fortunate to get shoes during Christmas or even at the beginning of the school year. So this gives us a chance to catch up with them. Maybe they outgrown a pair of shoes, or maybe they had to use the shoes for something else. You got basketball season, track season, whatever. Just keep the feet warm, keep our babies' feet warm, and just let the city know once again that we're always there.
All right, Officer Hardaway, thank you so much. Now, guys, I want to show you the back wall. Look at this. Literally, just a great wall of shoes that we got going on over here. It is amazing to see. And it's amazing to see everyone out here sorting. Now, we know some people still want to step up and help out. Zapatos doesn't just operate during the month of Share the Shoes. They are trying to help out families in and around San Antonio throughout the year. So if you still want to step up, help out, donate, help these families, you can do so. We have all that information right now. Just head to KSAT.com. We're going to have much more coming up, the news at noon. But yeah, more than 1,700 pairs donated. So to everyone out there who did step up, help out, donate shoes, thank you so much. It really is going to mean so much to so many kids around our community. Guys, back to you.
And Steph, are we surprised that San Antonio shows up and helps out?
Not at all. Very, very nice that everybody came out to donate. Look at all the options there, especially remember people are asking for the older kids, and you see those options there.
A wide range of sizes. Max, thank you. See you back here at noon, 9:26, 53 degrees.
And we are continuing to follow the breaking news on the southeast side, which is a standoff at a gas station off of I-37. Our Katrina Weber is at the scene there, and we're gonna check in with her after the break.
Welcome back. Just about 9:30. You or someone you know may be dealing with a respiratory virus, so the CDC says now is the time to get vaccinated.
So far this season, vaccination rates are low, but as CNN's Mike Valerio reports, respiratory virus transmission is high and rising as we head into the busy holiday season.
With 2 weeks to go before Christmas, a message from the director of the CDC.
It's not too late to get vaccinated if you haven't already.
It takes about 2 weeks for vaccines to provide optimal protection. But even if you miss the deadline, experts say the shots offer some additional protection before that and well after.
To protect yourself and your family this holiday season, take the steps that we do every year.
According to CDC data, weekly hospitalizations for flu, COVID-19, and RSV are on the rise. But they estimate fewer than 2 in 5 adults and children have gotten the flu vaccine this season. About 16% of adults and only 7% of kids have gotten the latest COVID-19 vaccine, while about 15% of older adults have gotten the new RSV vaccine.
We know in the winter viruses spread more often. We've been tracking flu and RSV for many years, and we've seen that cycle in the winter. Things go up.
If you or a loved one are already sick, Dr. Mandy Cohen says the first step is testing.
The reason you want to do that is because testing allows you to know what you have so you can get treatment. There is treatment for flu and for COVID that could also save your life.
In Los Angeles, I'm Mike Valerio.
We want to go back to a late-breaking story we've been tracking this hour, possible standoff situation at a gas station on San Antonio's southeast side near I-37 and Fair Avenue.
Katrina Weber has been following this story, and she joins us now live.
Well, good morning. It's a very different scene from how it was just 30 minutes ago. Everything has wrapped up here. A very unusual situation. This is where it all played out, right in the parking lot of the 7-Eleven. Still a few police officers there. They are watching the truck that was at the center of this whole thing, a red pickup that's parked up against the 7-Eleven. Now, they tell us that truck appears to be stolen, but that was not the issue. They originally came here around 6 o'clock in the morning after a clerk at the store noticed a man who appeared to be passed out inside the car, and they found out that he was holding a gun. SWAT officers were called in. They had this whole area roped off. They made announcements on the loudspeaker trying to rouse this man, but did not get any kind of reaction. They even set off some of those flashbang grenades. Now, they say ultimately what happened is SWAT did go into the truck by force, pulled the man out of the truck, and then he woke up. They say he appeared to be under the influence of something. They also found what looked like a packet containing some sort of drugs inside the car, along with the handgun that they say the man was holding. So very bizarre situation that unfolded here. Again, police say it looks like this truck is stolen, and they say if that man is the person who they're thinking, he's someone with outstanding warrants, but they're still trying to sort all of that out. But again, the situation now cleared out and the streets are back open again. This whole area was shut down for a while, but it's clear and open. Reporting live on the southeast side, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Katrina. Looking out there with live cam, we're turning from a cold morning into a cold morning. Not too bad in the 50s.
That feels okay. Light jacket weather. We'll make it into the 60s this afternoon. Not a bad day. We've had a pretty good stretch here, but clouds are going to start to increase, and tomorrow is a very, very different day in the sense that it is going to be damp and wet and coolish most of the day. Let's start with a beautiful picture here on our KSAT Connect. This is from Stockdale. Yeah, that's a nice sunrise. We had some clouds here in the distance. Quite a bit more cloud coverage to go west of San Antonio, but east of town and southeast near Stockdale looks pretty good. Good looking sunrise. We appreciate the picture as always. Pollen count is in. Molds are low. Mountain cedar is low. All good news here, but I will tell you with the damp conditions forecast for tomorrow, there's a good chance molds jump up a little bit. So if that's something that bugs you, know that it could be higher in the coming days. Our forecast today is 63 noontime, partly cloudy, 66 at 2 o'clock. We'll go mostly cloudy this afternoon. Our high temperature is 67, down to 65 at 6 p.m. And as early as 10 o'clock tonight, we'll start to add in the chance for a few light showers. How much rain could we see, and how long is this rain chance going to last? We'll dive into all of that for you coming up here in just a couple minutes, guys.
Well, if you've lived in San Antonio your whole life, or you feel like you're familiar with the Alamo, you may want to rethink that after you see the redevelopment of that historic district.
Very different. The Alamo Trust says the goals of this project are to restore a sense of reverence to the site and teach the full footprint of what was Mission San Antonio de Valero.
Max Massey explains why the next time you visit the completed project, it may change your view of the landmark and the role it plays in downtown San Antonio.
Oh, I didn't think I was going to geek out today, but this is great.
Jake and Celeste started their Monday morning strolling past the Alamo.
It's an awesome historical marker, especially for a Texan, and so I have to remember it.
Not necessarily thinking anything special of this history that they've known for years. That was until they saw some of the latest updates.
So far, this is more than I expected.
And this is just the start.
The current plan is the only plan that has ever garnered broad support from the city, the county, and the state of Texas. And all have invested in the project on different levels. Most importantly, this last legislative session, we were awarded a $400 million appropriation from the legislature.
This is just $400 of the $550 million allocated to these multi-year renovations. We have the construction of the South Gate, the church and Long Barrack interpretation update, the education center, and the visitor center and museum.
It actually is quite a positive return on investment. So the estimated return on the Alamo project is about $11.3 billion to Bexar County.
It's really an investment, not just the sacristy, not just the missions, but really the 12 acres that is the Alamo Plaza, giving even Texans something new to see.
Actually will be a big catalytic change to downtown San Antonio.
It's a driver for people around the world and around Texas to remember the Alamo.
If you think that you've seen the Alamo or you think you know the history of the Alamo, I challenge you to come back. And I promise you will learn something you didn't know before and you will be wowed.
The goal? Complete this project by the end of 2027.
I will come back every time I'm in San Antonio because there's too much to get in one trip.
Max Massey, KSAT 12 News.
Gosh, we can't wait to see the finished project.
I know. Like growing up here, I guess we've had plenty of opportunities to go, but now this will be very different.
It will. Well, moving on, a new study shows volunteering later in life may protect your brain against cognitive decline and dementia.
Our Courtney Friedman introduces us to a longtime community volunteer who says firsthand the results of this study are encouraging.
Jean, khaki, or tan?
Retired Air Force Lieutenant Colonel Glenda Rast spent her Monday volunteering for the Bulverde Spring Branch Angels, picking up Christmas presents for kids. Though retired, she fills her days with volunteer work.
With my Kiwanis Club, and we do like a Stuff the Bus once a year. February we do our big diaper and baby wipe drive. And we've helped Salvation Army ring the bell.
Researchers say older adults should follow her lead. New studies presented at this year's Alzheimer's Association International Conference found volunteering can boost your memory and postpone or even prevent cognitive decline and dementia.
Which has a personal connection because my father had dementia when he died. My mother-in-law right now is suffering from the disease.
Rast is also a retired audiologist and watched her patients suffer as well.
I think Ronald Reagan called it the long goodbye.
That's why she's glad to know new research is showing families how to postpone that decline.
Staying socially active is an important part of mental health, which obviously would impact folks' ability to maintain cognitive function.
Alzheimer's Association of San Antonio Executive Director Greg Shudo says volunteering involves physical activity, social interaction, stimulating, and even protecting the brain.
I'm happier when I'm volunteering because I'm giving back.
Her heart lifts as she collects these presents, knowing similar actions could be staving off dementia for others. Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
9:38, 54 degrees. You're watching GMSA at 9.
Let's watch out there with ZooCam, and we see our friends, the flamingos, kind of just hanging out there at the zoo.
Ducks and geese and flamingos. Oh my.
Oh my.
Yeah.
It's a great day to go to the zoo. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. Not a bad day in San Antonio.
Yeah, not yet.
Well, we've had another good stretch here. We're still aching for some rain, though. I mean, it's been a while since we've got a good soaking rain. We're going to have some opportunities for some showers over the next 3 or 4 days. Question is, will it be plentiful? And I think maybe Friday we'll get some decent totals. It's not going to be a lot, but at least it is in the forecast. So let's first start with, speaking of rain, where we've been. And you probably know this all too well. It's been a rough stretch. We did okay in 2021. We had 34 inches. That's a little bit above average. Of course, 2018 was a great year for rainfall. But 2019, 2020, below average. And then, of course, we had last year, which was a record low amount of rainfall. And then so far this year, we're at about 19 inches, which is below average. And obviously, there's very, very little chance that we'll get back up to average. We have some chances coming up. But we're likely going to end the year somewhere in the range of 20 inches of rain, so another year below average. Hopefully next year we'll turn things around. As we look at the forecast here, speaking of rain, there is a potential for drizzle tomorrow morning. Know that when you head out the door tomorrow, you're going to want the umbrella, you're going to want the jacket, because temperatures actually may cool a little bit throughout the day, and then you're going to have this rain to contend with, especially first half of the day, and then by the afternoon it'll start to fade away a little bit. But it'll just be kind of damp and cool and cloudy all day tomorrow. Then as we get into Thursday, maybe a few breaks in the clouds. I think rain chances will be significantly lower on Thursday. Then Friday rolls around. We get our next storm system pulling in, frontal boundaries. So by Friday morning, we've got a broken line of showers and storms out to our west. And then this works in our direction during the day on Friday, sweeps through. Gives us a pretty good shot at some rain. And if we're going to pick up some decent rainfall totals, this is when it's going to be. With that in mind, it's not going to be anywhere in the range of, say, big numbers. We're going to be talking about maybe up to an inch of rainfall. Then on the back side of it, we get the cooler weather. with some northwesterly winds coming in on Saturday. So Saturday is going to be kind of a coolest day too before we get the opportunity to warm up on Sunday. We talked about the rain potential. Highest numbers are going to be up towards Lubbock and San Angelo. Here, maybe up to an inch around San Antonio. Not everyone's going to get that much, maybe half an inch up to an inch. So yeah, the totals aren't huge. And the rain chances highest tomorrow and on Friday. So 60% chance, but this is light stuff tomorrow, and then that 60% chance of rain Friday with a 20% chance Thursday. Beyond that, rain chances go away again. As we go outside for you, 51. We're going to call it mostly cloudy, although most of this is just thin high clouds at the moment. Dew point is at 42. We've got an east-northeasterly wind at about 6 miles per hour. Cloud cover, well, you go east of San Antonio, it's clear. You go west and the clouds are there. These clouds probably hang around for a while. So Hondo, Uvalde, you're seeing mostly cloudy skies. Same for Kerrville, Rock Springs, Fredericksburg. Temperatures up there, 47. It's chilly up in the hill country this morning. 54 Uvalde, 53 Hondo, where we're getting some sun. 61 right now in Gonzales, 58 in Kennedy. And here around San Antonio, low to mid-50s. Cloud cover in general is going to be on the increase today. Still, we probably get temperatures up to around 67 or so. With mid-60s to go around. So our extended forecast, 55 tomorrow. There's the drop-off. With light rain and damp conditions, 62 Thursday, 20% chance of rain. And then we're back to 60% chance Friday, 59 for a high. 54 on Saturday, coolish, mostly cloudy day. And then warming into the 60s by Sunday and Monday.
All right, we'll watch out for the rain, Justin. Thank you. Well, San Antonio Spurs broke a new record, but it wasn't a good one.
David Sears is back to talk about last night's game against the Houston Rockets. Again, some of these discussions have now turned into kind of a group therapy session, David.
Yeah, we're going to need some therapy after this thing.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you what, I watched this whole game last night, and it was bad. It was just a bad-looking basketball game.
Not one bright spot?
When you consider Wemby played pretty good. Devin Vassell is the best player on the team right now. I mean, I know Wemby's a rookie and he's getting all the attention and everything, but I think Devin Vassell is the most consistent player on the team. There's Wemby with the three. The Spurs stunk from three-point range. We just showed you one of the few makes right there. And look at, a little tweak in the ankle.
Oh, yeah.
That didn't feel good. But he's 19. He recovers fast. Watch, he just pops up. I'm good. So, which is a nice thing. So. The Rockets, they made a couple of threes. They weren't that much better than the Spurs, but, I mean, it was like 93 to 82. We're talking in games where you're usually scoring in the 120s, and now you only get 93 and you only score 82. I mean, it's just, okay, so here we go. You ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Spurs from three-point range, 5 of 41.
Why so many three-point attempts?
I don't know. I don't get it. It's like they get in this desperation mode that they got to catch up, or they're trying to not lose a lead, and they just start firing up these threes and some bad shots rather than I don't know what Pop's plays. I knew when Tim Duncan was on the floor what a 4 down meant. I mean, we were going to Tim Duncan, but I don't know what look at that. Now that's amazing right there.
Yeah.
Yes, that's fun, but the losing is not. But I don't understand. It's like they don't have there's no cohesion. There's no consistency. There's no continuity on their offensive end of the floor. It's like they go down, pass a couple times, fire a guy behind the three-point line, shoot it. Maybe it'll go in, maybe it won't. Well, last night it didn't go in. It was horrible. The Rockets were much better. The Rockets were like 12 of 39, but the Spurs were a lousy 5 of 40. Well, they just kept firing. Poor Keldon Johnson was 0 of 9 from three-point range. It's like, hey, why don't you just drive to the hoop one time? Why don't we run a play and slow this momentum down and get going with something? At least Wemby is being positive. At least he's talking positive. Here he is.
Oh.
They were great. You got to make a shot in the NBA. You can't shoot 5 for 41 from 3. That's not going to happen. It's hard to know what to do when you're missing that many shots. It just makes it very, very difficult. But they're growing in all kinds of ways, and I just wish they could catch a break that way as far as making some shots.
But it's always something. Every game, it's always something. It's turnovers. It's missed shots. See, and that's what we're used to seeing when stuff starts going bad. There's always one guy that they could turn to. If it wasn't Tim, it was Manu. It was Tony. Who's the guy? They don't have anybody that they can turn to. They don't seem to be like, let's go down, let's set up a play, let's run it for somebody, and let's at least get a basket and maybe get to the line. They stunk from the free throw line last night too. But I mean, it's like they can't seem to get enough of it together to pull out a win, and that's why they've lost 17 in a row. They do some stuff really good, but then there's always something that they don't do very good. So here we go. So it's the Lakers coming to town.
Yeah.
They just won that in-season tournament thing. They're going to even hang the banner. Really? You're going to hang a banner from something nobody really understands? Okay, go ahead, LA. But they got them twice. So this would be a great opportunity for the Spurs to start making some shots at home, get the crowd behind them, and let's see maybe if they can pull one off against one of the top teams in the NBA, LeBron James and Anthony Davis.
It would be sweet, especially against the Lakers.
And we've seen some stranger thing happen. Hey, they beat the Suns twice in the Phoenix.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what a way to end your streak by beating the Lakers, huh?
That would be awesome.
Let's hope. Let's hope. Let's hope.
We're all on board with that, David.
We are. David, thank you. 10 till 55 degrees.
We'll be right back.
Welcome back. 9:54. Sparkly gift wrap can be pretty and exciting for the holidays, but can hurt our environment.
So in today's Gardening with KSAT, our Sarah Costa will show us sustainable options for gift wrapping and how you can get your garden involved.
About 4.6 million pounds of gift wrap is produced in the U.S. every year, and about half of that is sent to the landfill.
Not the landfill.
Remember, the less we send to the landfill, the less carbon is released into our environment, which can combat climate change. No fear, here are some sustainable options you can use. I get the bags from local grocery stores. Some are simple and some are fancy and even put out Christmas themes. Your easiest option is to bag it using a little bit of tissue paper. Make sure your tissue paper is 100% tissue paper without foil, glitter, or shiny coating. You can add something festive like this handmade paper snowflake, Bellissima. And all of these items can be used again. Can be recycled into your blue bin, composted into your green bin, or composted for your garden. And here are some wrapping options. And don't judge. I'm really bad at wrapping. Not that kind. Gift wrapping. Make your own wrapping paper by cutting up some of the brown bags or newspaper. And if you want to keep this 100% sustainable, instead of using plastic tape, use paper packaging tape, which can be recycled. Or you can use Elmer's glue or glue sticks, which is biodegradable. Adding a bow made out of twine makes it look pretty. And twine is compostable. Here's where your garden can come in by cutting something from it, like a smell-good herb like rosemary, a dried flower, or even putting some of those millions of acorns that have fallen across our city to use. Oh my God, look how pretty. Think sustainable, think green. Happy gardening. Sarah Costa, KSAT 12 News.
All right, 55 right now. We'll be up into the 60s today. Clouds will be on the increase, though, so by the afternoon, it'll be quite a bit more cloudy. And tomorrow, get the jackets, get the umbrellas ready. It'll be damp, coolish, 55 is our forecast.
I believe you because you have it on there. Light rain, damp.
Yep, damp. We emphasized it. We don't want anyone to forget.
All right.
Message received.
We got it. We got it, Justin. Be prepared for the rain. Bye, guys.